Joyce, tell us about the baby story.
Oh, uh, yes, well, that's an interesting memory and an interesting story because even though I teach social policy and I kind of talk about the importance of staying in guidelines and the rules and everything. That day I broke a rule probably of the college. Maybe it wasn't even a rule yet, but it became not that long afterwards. But I remember there was a student who had worked really hard to get through her studies. She was single mom, and I remember she didn't have a lot of supports in terms of caregivers. It was difficult sometimes to book them at times of classes and so on. And I remember in this particular term, I knew that she was pregnant. It was, very exciting time for her. Um, and I remember she worked hard at her assignments. She came to the classes, and then one day she called me and she said, Joyce, I don't think I'll be able to make it to class on Monday or whatever day it was. Because she said, I think my time is near. So I said, well, don't worry about that then. Don't worry about class. I said, you focus on, you and baby and let me know. Well, lo and behold, baby was born that day at class. So I remember we all sent a message from the class to her, telling her congratulations and everything. But I remember the final exam was booked for, I think it was about 5 days later. So I had already told her, look, we can do an extension. Don't worry about that. I said, pretty straightforward, just, don't worry about having to come. So anyway, exam day comes, and we had it all set up in the classroom, and everybody had kind of sat down and had started to write. It was just kind of time we were starting the exam. And at the door, in comes this student, this mom. And in her arms was baby in a moss bag. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my goodness, she's going to try to write the exam. And I went over to her and I said, you don't have to write today. She said, no, she said, I want to write today. I'm ready to write today. And I thought, oh my goodness sake. So anyway, she kind of set baby up. I said, well, just take your time. I said, and you take whatever time you need. If you have to take a break and it takes longer to write the exam, no worries. I said, I've got nothing on after, noon hour, whenever it was, we were supposed to close the exam down. I said, we'll just do whatever time you need today. Anyway, she kind of settled baby, sat down, and she wrote. And within about, I would say about half an hour, 45 minutes, because I remember thinking, oh my, what a good baby, how quiet baby is. And but baby started to fuss about that time. And she got up, put her pencil down, kind of settled a little bit, baby, and then went back to write. Baby fussed again. So and I could tell it was really distracting her and kind of worrying her. And I just said, well, I went over and I said, if you're okay with it, if you want me to carry baby around, I said, I will, if that will settle baby. So I remember she handed over baby, and I kind of put baby up, and we just walked around the classroom. And I kept thinking to myself, praying, oh my gosh, don't fuss, baby. Because I didn't really want to hand baby back. I wanted to let her sort of settle in. And after about a minute, she kind of calmed down and focused on her questions and wrote. And I was surprised again, baby was quiet with me for probably about 40 some minutes, fell asleep, and then, kind of woke up again. And by that time, she was finished her exam and handed it back to me. And I said, are you happy with what you've done? Because I said, you can have more time. No, she said, I think I've done everything. And I handed baby back. What a lovely baby that was. And I just remember thinking to myself, wow, what determination that student had. And, when you went to gather memories, Manisha, that students submitted, I remember that situation, but when that student shared that she was able, she brought her baby to class because she didn't know what else to do. She had that determination and responsibility, sense of responsibility and accountability that she should write the exam that day, even though she didn't have to. She did. And and for her to remember that memory as well was very profound. And I just thought to myself, that student will go on to do good things in her life because she had that sense of determination. And so it's just one of those good memories that I have of a student determined to hang on to her dreams and meet her goals.
Determination,
Yes.
responsibility, accountability. Thank you, Joyce, for sharing. Hi, hi, hi. Ex
I
moistus.